You followed the strategy, you built the funnel, you're sending traffic to your funnel, and people are actually clicking. But when they land on your page, they bounce. No calls booked, no forms submitted, no sales. And suddenly you're questioning everything. Is my offer bad? Maybe I'm not targeting the right audience. Maybe this funnel just doesn't work. But here's the truth. It's not your audience or your targeting or even your design. It's your copy. If your words don't make people feel something, if they don't instantly show what's in it for them, if they have to think too hard to get it, they're gone. In this video, I'm showing you exactly how to write high converting funnel copy, even if you're not a writer and hate staring at a blinking cursor. Hi, I'm Jasmine. I've been in marketing for over 12 years and I run a marketing agency helping service-based business owners turn cold strangers into clients using behavioral psychology, ads, funnels, and a messaging system that actually works. This video is part of my ultimate free business course series where I help you go from 0 clients to consistent income using strategies that are sustainable, ethical, and psychology backed. If you haven't watched the previous videos on paid ads and how to create a high converting funnel to sell your high ticket offer, make sure to do that next because it covers the exact structure this copy will be used for. Now, let's talk about the part most people get totally wrong, the messaging. Because a funnel without strong messaging is like a beautiful car with no engine. It looks good, but it's literally going nowhere. Now, just a quick disclaimer as well before we dive in. There are many different types of copy: web copy, email copy, brand storytelling, direct response copywriting, conversion copywriting, the list goes on and on. But today we're focusing specifically on funnel copy, which falls under direct response and conversion copywriting. This is the kind of copy that's designed to guide people through a sales funnel and get them to take one specific action at each stage of the funnel. If you want the full breakdown of all the different types of copy and how they work together in your business, I've got a full copywriting one-on-one series coming very soon. So make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon and stay tuned for that. By the end of this video, you will know the exact copy structure to use to turn clicks into book calls, how to write headlines and lead-ins that hook readers instantly, the key psychological principles that make your copy emotionally resonant, and the biggest mistakes that repel high-ticket clients and how to avoid them, and how to position your offer to attract empowered buyers, not time wasters. Plus, you will get access to my free copy guide with formulas and prompts that you can plug right into your funnel. All right, let's get into it. It's crucial for every business owner to understand that copy isn't just words. It's the bridge between attention and action. Writing something that sounds good or witty simply isn't enough. It just won't cut it. Your copy needs to build connection, needs to make your ideal client feel deeply seen, heard, and understood. It needs to bridge the gap between where they're at now and where they want to be in a very visceral way. It needs to create desire for what you offer by presenting your unique hero mechanism in a simplified way so your ideal client can see that you have something that your competitors don't. And it needs to build trust and credibility by proving that you get them, that you get their problems and their desires. And it needs to overcome any objections and potential doubts your ideal clients have. And it also needs to inspire action. Your copy needs to get them to feel that you actually have the solution to their problem, so they take the next step and contact you. Now, I know that this may seem like a lot, but stick with me here. We'll go through it all step by step. Because when you do this right, it works like magic. And here's the thing. You can only do all of that by using your words, not design or fancy tech. All of that stuff is secondary. You can have the most beautiful funnel and the most aesthetically pleasing marketing campaigns in the world, the slickest design, and the fanciest automations. Heck, you can even have the best product on the market. But if your message doesn't land, none of it matters. Your messaging is what carries most of the freight, and it's where you need to focus 80% of all your attention, your time, and your effort on. Yet most business owners completely neglect copy and focus on other things. They spend most of their money and their time on user design and product design because visual stuff is more exciting and sexier to build. But then they fail in communicating with their market. And when you cannot communicate properly, you're not going to connect with people. You're not going to connect with your market. And if you cannot connect with your market, you literally will not convert anyone. And as a result, your sales and your business as a whole will suffer. As a copywriter, I've seen this time and time again, and it really hurts my heart because it's something that could so easily be avoided. And I want to make sure that you are not making the same grave mistake. So if you take anything away from this video, please let it be this. The success of your business stands and falls with your messaging. So please don't be like most people and approach copy like a to-do list. Headline, check. Body copy, check. CTA, check. No. Instead, you're going to follow emotional sequencing. Because the best performing funnel copy follows a psychological and emotional arc. One that mirrors how your dream clients actually make decisions. It follows an emotional sequence, not just a logical one. Think of your funnel copy like an emotional escalator. Each section takes them one floor higher until they reach the top and say, yup, this is the one. Here's the emotional escalator your copy should follow. First, you need a hook. You need a hook to grab the attention of your ideal client with curiosity and emotion. For example, finally, a new way to sell high-ticket clients and make 10K a month without ads, posting content, or dancing on Reels. Then, you need to build a connection through empathy and trust. You need to make them feel seen and deeply understood. For example, you've tried the content hamster wheel, you've burned out, now you feel unmotivated, but here's the truth, you're not lazy. You've just been stuck in systems that weren't built for you. And then you need to spark desire by focusing your copy on aspiration and outcomes. Very specific outcomes. You need to paint a future your ideal clients are craving. Imagine waking up to dream clients in your DMs and payments hitting your bank account before you've even finished your first cup of coffee, right? Then you need to resolve hesitation with proof and objection handling. You need to show your unique hero mechanism and how it works to diffuse any doubts that your ideal client has. For example, this is the same system that helped 134 stay-at-home moms double their income without a big audience or fancy funnel. And then lastly, you need to nudge them into action with your call to action, your CTA. You need to give them a very good reason to act now rather than later. For example, grab your free seat now because your dream clients need you, so don't let them wait. Now let's look at how this emotional sequencing maps onto the actual sections of your landing pages, so you can implement this step by step in your funnel. So first of all, you have the headline, which acts as your hook. This is the most important line on the whole page. If the headline doesn't get your ideal client's attention, they're literally not going to stay. They're not going to keep reading. They're going to bounce. A great headline speaks directly to your dream client. It promises a very, very specific benefit that needs to be tied to the specific result that your ideal client wants. It needs to feel fresh, new, and exciting, not generic, not the same message that they have seen 100 times already. And it needs to create burning curiosity, burning intrigue. For example, quit the 9 to 5 without going broke. How to make 5K per month from home in just 30 days using this AI system. No startup costs required. This headline is very, very specific. It's speaking to a very specific benefit that the market wants. And it also sounds new and exciting and creates a lot of burning intrigue, right? What is this AI method? What is this AI system? I need to know and find out. And always make sure to write a minimum of 30 headline options. The first 10 will just be practice. The magic lives in headline 21. The more you write, the better you get. Then you have the sub-headline, which should build a connection. This is your chance to make your readers feel seen, heard, and deeply understood. The headline gets them to pause. The sub-headline gets them to scroll. The subheader should always expand on the headline, right? Your headline doesn't need to say everything. That's what the subheader is for. It's the perfect place to add context, to reinforce the very specific benefit, or to expand on secondary benefits, and to introduce your unique mechanism and touch on the things that your ideal client wants to avoid. Then next up, you have the body copy. And the body copy's job is to build desire and resolve hesitation, right? Your reader is going to ask themselves, why should I care? And your copy needs to immediately get them to think, this is actually relevant to me. This is why I should care. So show them that you understand what they're struggling with, what they're going through, what they're dealing with, and then show them the better future that your solution leads to. Use short paragraphs, bullet points, bolded phrases, make it scannable and easy to read. Don't make it clunky and have a whole bulk of text there that is very hard to read, because then you're going to lose people easily. You want to use the body copy to call out very specific pain points that they're tired of, and to highlight the outcomes that they want, and to paint a future that they desire. And you want to actually focus most of your time on the positives and on the goals and the dreams and the outcomes that your ideal client wants. And you want to introduce your process, your unique hero mechanism. And you also want to add social proof and testimonials. You will use this structure on both your opt-in page and your long-form landing page. But the long-form version, of course, gives you more space to expand. That's your opportunity to fully guide them through the entire emotional arc: connection, desire, belief, and urgency. It's where you do the heavy lifting. And finally, your call to action, of course, which nudges your ideal client into motion. Don't use generic, obvious CTAs like book now or sign up today, right? They're boring, they're generic, they've seen those 1,000 times already. Instead, you want to tie the action to the very specific benefit that they want. For example, get qualified leads today. Hit that button and get jacked like a chiseled Greek god. Steal the strategy that books calls on autopilot. You get the gist. Make the action feel rewarding and easy and not risky. Your CTA should feel like an invitation to get what they want. All right, now that you know how to implement emotional sequencing and structure the copy of your landing pages, we need to cover the 8 commandments of compelling copy. The first commandment is thou shalt not be vague, right? This is bar none the most important rule that you need to follow when you write your copy. You need to be ultra specific, hyper specific, because if your copy is vague, you're speaking to no one. Statements like, I help you grow your business, or get the results you deserve, or take your life to the next level, or take your fitness to the next level, or whatever it may be. These statements mean absolutely nothing. They don't communicate anything. They don't create an image. They don't trigger a feeling, and they definitely do not convert. Now compare those to sign 3 to 5 high ticket clients a month without relying on social media. Or get that bikini ready beach body in just 12 weeks without going to the gym or counting calories. Or scale your 10K offer using this 3-step AI funnel that books calls on autopilot even when you sleep. See the difference? Specificity builds clarity, and clarity builds trust, and trust creates conversions. So next time you write copy, ask yourself, would my ideal client know that this is for them? If not, get more specific. Because meh copy is vague, generic, and lifeless. But magnetic copy sounds like it was written just for your ideal client and no one else. And that's exactly how it should be. The second commandment is thou shalt speak their language. You've probably heard of mirror neurons before, right? They're the reason you cringe when you see influencers do unhinged things, tear up when Mufasa dies in The Lion King, and feel deeply seen when someone else puts your thoughts and emotions into words. Mirror neurons fire when we observe someone else experiencing something, as if we're experiencing it ourselves. And this is the biological mechanism behind empathy and emotional connection. And it's the secret sauce behind scroll-stopping, high-converting copy that gets your clients whispering, it's like they're inside my head. When you use the exact words your audience is using in their head or saying out loud to describe their problems and their desires and their goals, you instantly build trust and emotional resonance. Your copy shouldn't sound like a textbook. It should sound like their inner monologue. So use their words, not yours. For example, if your ideal client says, I feel stuck spinning my wheels, don't rewrite it as you're experiencing stagnation in your business. That's corporate cringe. That's not how they are saying it. So say it how they say it. The third commandment, thou shalt make thy client a hero. Here's one of the biggest mistakes people make in their copy that's costing them thousands in sales. They talk too much about themselves, their story, their business, their credentials, their method, their genius. But here's the harsh truth. You are not the hero. Your client is. Your copy should not be your CV. It should be about them. Your dream clients don't care about you. They only care about themselves. They only care about whether you can actually help them. They are Frodo looking for Gandalf for a guide. You are the guide. They're the hero. You're the guide, the one with the map, the flashlight, and the secret sauce that they need. They are the one on the journey, and your offer is the bridge that helps them get from point A, from frustrated, stuck, spinning their wheels, to point B, thriving, confident, or fully booked. Whatever it is that they may want. Your job isn't to steal their spotlight. It's to shine it onto them, onto the transformation that your ideal client desires most. Great copy doesn't shout about how brilliant you are. It reflects your client's desires so clearly that they think that you are literally in their heads. So when you write your copy, ask yourself, where's my dream client at right now emotionally? Where do they want to be? What beliefs or barriers are in their way, preventing them to get to where they want to be? And how does my offer help them cross that bridge? Because here's the thing, people don't buy your service. They buy who they get to become by working with you. They buy the result that they get by working with you. Your service is merely the vehicle to help them get the result that they desire. The fourth commandment, thou shalt tease with curiosity. You know that feeling when a thriller opens with a murder, but you don't know who did it, who died, or why. You're glued to the pages, and you have to know how the story ends. You have to know what happened. That's no accident. It's literally by design, because the author strategically keeps you hooked with open loops. And TV shows do it too. Cliffhangers, unanswered questions, that one scene you cannot stop thinking about. Your copy needs to work in the exact same way. You need to keep your ideal clients reading by opening loops that their brain desperately wants to close. Open loops are strategic hooks you scatter throughout your messaging to keep your audience mentally engaged. They trigger the brain's need for closure. So the only way to feel satisfied is to keep reading. They're teasers that make people think, oof, I need to know the answer. I need to know what happens next. They're like breadcrumbs. They're little tension points to keep your reader mentally engaged and focused. And when done right, your funnel becomes binge-worthy like your favorite Netflix show. The fifth commandment, thou shalt lead with the solution. I see this so often. People are attracting the wrong kind of leads, price shoppers, time wasters, or people looking for a magic bullet or a quick fix. That is a sign that your copy is too pain focused. This is super important, and I don't see enough people talk about this. Purely pain-based copy attracts pain-based clients. Most marketing bros and gurus will tell you to focus on your market's pains and amplify heavily, because people take action when they feel pain or when they want to avoid future pain. And while that is true, and people do take action out of fear or wanting to avoid pain, it's not the only way to get someone to take action. Most funnels focus too much on the pain. Yes, you want to meet your audience where they're at, but if your messaging only screams, you are struggling, you are stuck, you are overwhelmed, then you will attract people who identify with being stuck and overwhelmed, and you will attract people who identify with struggle, not empowered buyers who are ready to do the work and to take action. That's why you should always make sure to lead with possibility. Yes, you do need to touch on the pain and on their problem, but you should focus a disproportionate amount on the positive, on future pacing, on the outcome, the goal, the desire that they want, on the reality that they want to experience. You should always lead with the solution. Speak to where they want to go, not just where they're at now, because your dream clients aren't looking for a pity party. They're looking for momentum. They're looking for the solution. Empowered messaging equals empowered clients. Like attracts like. The sixth commandment, thou shalt only use real urgency and scarcity. Right? Two very powerful psychological triggers, scarcity and urgency, absolutely do work, but only when they're real. Fake urgency and scarcity is the worst. It's so cringe. Fake timers and countdowns won't cut it anymore. This worked 10 years ago, but not today, because your buyers have seen all the marketing tricks and gimmicks already, right? They're not stupid. They can smell BS a mile away. Of course, this depends on the sophistication of your market, but generally speaking, most markets nowadays are ultra aware of these tactics by now. and it kills trust immediately. Poof, gone. Instead, if you want to create real urgency and scarcity, you need to use real constraints and give rationale. Be honest, right? For example, explain that you can only take on 3 new clients per month. Say something like, there are only 8 hours in my day and only 3 of those are open for calls. Therefore, my availability is limited and I only have X amount of spots available per month. Once my calendar fills, you will have to wait until next month. Never lie or fake anything in your marketing. The 7th commandment, thou shalt calm their cynicism. If you're in a niche where people have been burned multiple times before, like real estate or coaching or digital marketing, then your copy needs to neutralize skepticism and calm cynicism. So don't ignore it. Address the elephant in the room calmly and confidently, and even with a bit of humor to diffuse it, to diffuse the situation, right? Say something like, I'm not here to convince you, I'm different. I'm here to show you that I'm not like Sam who took your money, ran for the hills, and probably spent it all in the casino, right? Or you have probably worked with other agencies before who overpromised and underdelivered. That's why we offer a free marketing roadmap so you can experience how we work before committing to anything. It's not about defending yourself or justifying anything. It's about meeting objections with calm confidence and real value and a little bit of humor. All right, the 8th commandment, thou shalt read thy copy aloud. This might sound weird, but once you're done writing, read your copy out loud. To yourself, to your dog, to the plants, whatever makes sense for you. The point is that you need to hear your copy with your own ears so you can catch anything that sounds off or unnatural. Weird phrasing, awkward rhythm, an overly salesy or stiff tone, right? If it doesn't sound like you in conversation, rewrite it. Your goal is to write copy that sounds like you, resonates with you and your clients, and sells like magic. As always, I'm here to help you implement the knowledge you're acquiring and make taking action as easy as humanly possible for you so you can bridge the gap between learning and doing. And that's why I've created a free copy guide for you that you can grab now by clicking the link in the description below. This guide is full with formulas that you can use to create winning headlines and subheaders and CTA examples. You also get prompts so you can use ChatGPT to help you write the copy. You will find the link in the description below. I hope that this video gave you the clarity you needed to write compelling, high converting funnel copy that turns clicks into bookings. Don't throw away your whole funnel, just fix your words and you'll see an instant shift in conversions. If this video was helpful, please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload. There's many more videos like this to come, all helping you to market your business effectively and communicate the value of what you do. Because if you know how to send out the right signal, then your dream clients will pick up on it. I'll see you in the next one.